The quiet man in the KeanuReeves gym smelled of sweat, rubber mats, and pride. Banners lined the walls, each one showing photos of champions. Gold medals hung near the entrance. On one side, a massive poster showed Lucas Enrique, 5-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, holding a championship belt, smiling with his arms wide. He trained here. Every day. This wasn't just his gym. This was his world. The room was filled with sound grunts, slaps on mats, and the voice of Lucas shouting, again, "Reset, no mercy." Students watched him in awe. Some feared him, others worshipped him. His takedowns were fast, his pressure was heavy, his finishes were brutal, and his mouth, it was just as sharp as his arm bars. "Weak people don't belong on these mats," he shouted as he walked between rolling pairs. "This is Jiu-Jitsu, not yoga class." Laughter followed. Then the door opened. A quiet breeze swept in as a man stepped through. No one noticed at first. He wore a black hoodie, a cap, jeans. He didn't look like a fighter. He looked like someone lost. But he walked with calm steps, hands in his pockets, observing. A few people turned. "Is that?" someone whispered. Lucas paused in the middle of the mat. He squinted toward the back of the gym, then grinned. "No way," he said, laughing. "Don't tell me that's John Wick." The students chuckled nervously. The man pulled off his cap. It was Keanu Reeves. Lucas stepped forward. "What brings you to my dojo, movie star?" Keanu smiled softly. "I heard you were the best. Thought I'd watch a class." Lucas raised an eyebrow. "You want to watch?" Keanu nodded. Double quotes, "Just observe." Lucas shrugged. "Sure. Grab a chair. Popcorn's free." He turned back to the mats. But something changed. His voice got louder, his moves sharper. He wanted to show off. After an hour of training, Lucas clapped his hands. "Open mat time. Anyone wants to roll, pick your partner." He looked toward Keanu. Then smirked. "Unless the actor wants a go." Everyone turned. Eyes widened. Some laughed. Some whispered. Keanu stood up slowly. Walked toward the mats. "I'd like to," he said. Calmly, "If that's all right." Lucas grinned. "Your funeral." A hush fell over the gym. Keanu stepped onto the mat barefoot. No gi, no belt. Just the quiet confidence of someone who knew something others did. In single quotes. Lucas bounced on his heels. He loved this. A chance to show the world what real power looked like. They shook hands. The roll began. Lucas moved fast. Tried a collar tie. Keanu slipped out. He went for a single leg. Keanu sprawled, light on his feet. Students leaned in. They had expected chaos. A fast tap. But Keanu was moving with grace. Timing. Patience. Lucas growled under his breath. He tried a hip toss. Keanu countered. They landed on the ground. And then Keanu took his back. In less than 15 seconds. Clean. Quiet. Controlled. Lucas froze. The entire room gasped. Keanu didn't choke him. He just whispered, "We can stop now." Lucas jerked forward, escaping. He stood up, face red. "Lucky move." He snapped. "Maybe." Keanu replied softly. "But maybe not." Lucas lunged again, this time angry, his movements messy. He tried to muscle Keanu down, but strength was nothing. Against balance. Keanu moved like water. Within moments, he was in Mount. The pressure light. Respectful. He didn't punch, didn't humiliate, just placed his hands gently on Lucas's chest. "Breathe," he said. Lucas tapped the mat. Twice. The gym stayed frozen. For the first time in years, Lucas had been humbled. By a man who said nothing, who did not boast. Who had come just to watch. Keanu stood up. Offered his hand. Lucas hesitated. Then took it. Stood, stared at the man. And for the first time, saw something more than just an actor. "Who taught you that?" he asked. "A friend," Keanu said. "Someone who taught me that Jiu-Jitsu isn't about proving you're better. It's about proving you've improved." Lucas looked down. Then nodded. The students clapped. Soft at first. Then louder. Keanu bowed slightly and walked to the door. But before leaving, he turned. "Thanks for letting me train." Lucas didn't respond. He just stood there, thinking. Feeling. A storm inside his chest. And something deeper. Respect. The ghost of the Maastricht mats were quiet. After Keanu left. No more laughter. No more shouting. Just slow breathing and silent thoughts. Lucas stood in the center of the gym. Still sweating, his students glanced at him with wide eyes. Some looked confused, some looked uncomfortable, but none of them spoke. He had just been outclassed. Not by a champion. Not by a muscle-bound fighter. By a quiet man in a hoodie and jeans. Lucas wiped his face with a towel. His pride burned hotter than his skin. He got lucky. He muttered to no one in particular. A student named Diego stepped forward. "Coach," he said softly, "that wasn't luck." Lucas glared at him. "You think he's better than me?" Diego hesitated. "I think." He moved like someone who's been doing this longer than any of us. Lucas threw the towel down. "He's an actor." Diego nodded. "But even actors bleed." Lucas didn't respond. He walked to the office, shut the door, and sat alone in the dark. On the wall was a photo of his old teacher, a man named Renato Silva, the only person Lucas had ever respected more than himself. He stared at the photo now. Renato had passed away 6 years ago. A car accident. The funeral had been small. Only a few close students had attended. Lucas had spoken at it, said big words, shed a single tear, but he never cried again, until now, because as he sat there, the moment Keanu whispered "breathe" kept playing in his mind. It was the same thing Renato used to whisper to him years ago when Lucas was a white belt and everything scared him. "Breathe, Lucas. Jiu-Jitsu is not war, it's understanding." He never told anyone that. So how did Keanu know? The next morning, Lucas returned early. Before sunrise. Before any students arrived. He rolled out the mats in silence, cleaned the sweat lines with a damp towel. He moved slower. Heavier. His eyes kept drifting toward the door. Hoping. But Keanu didn't return. Not yet. By afternoon, whispers spread across the city. Videos of the roll had leaked online. Some shaky phone footage. Students had uploaded it anonymously. The internet lit up. Double quotes Keanu humbles a BJJ champ in under a minute. Actor or assassin, Keanu's ground game is insane. Lucas tried to ignore it, but the gym's phone rang non-stop. Journalists, podcasters, schools, everyone wanted to know how it happened. But Lucas gave no answers. Instead, he made a call. To a friend named Marco. Someone who had trained under Renato before Lucas ever did. Someone older. More patient. "Marco," Lucas said, "did Renato ever train someone in secret?" There was silence on the line. Then Marco answered, "Yes." "Was it him?" "Who?" "Keanu Reeves." A pause. "Then he came to Brazil once," Marco said. "Years ago. Before John Wick. Before fame. Renato took him in. Taught him privately." Lucas gripped the phone tighter. Why didn't anyone say anything? "Because Keanu never wanted anyone to know," Marco said. "He didn't come to compete. He came to learn. He said fame had taken too much from him, and Jiu-Jitsu gave some of it back." Lucas sat down slowly. The room spun. Later that evening, Keanu returned. Quiet as ever. No cameras. No audience. Just a calm breath at the door. Lucas met him at the entrance. They stood facing each other for a long time. Then Lucas stepped aside. "Welcome," he said softly. Keanu nodded. "Thank you." The students watched as Keanu walked in, barefoot, and bowed toward the mats. This time, Lucas didn't mock him. He bowed back. They rolled again. Not to win. Not to dominate. To learn. Lucas moved slower. More technical. And Keanu responded like a mirror. Students watched in awe. It was like watching water flow uphill. Grace. Patience. Pressure. Respect. Lucas tapped once. Keanu tapped once. Both smiled. At the end, they sat side by side on the mat. Breathing. Lucas turned to him. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Keanu looked toward the ceiling. "Because everyone wants to show off what they know," he said. "But I came here to remember what I forgot." "What did you forget?" "That Jiu-Jitsu isn't about being better," Keanu said. "It's about being free." Lucas nodded. And for the first time in years, he felt something loosen in his chest. His pride softened. His anger melted. "Renato would have been proud of you," Lucas said. Keanu looked down. He already was. That night, Lucas gathered all of his students. They sat in a circle on the mat. He didn't speak from a podium. He didn't shout. He sat down with them. Humble. Double quotes. I was wrong. He said, about Jiu-Jitsu, about strength, about what it means to be great. He looked around the room. Today, we train different. The students nodded. And somewhere outside the gym, beyond the lights, Renato Silva's memory lived on. Through the hands of two men who learned to let go of ego and hold on to truth. The boy with bruised bell above the gym door rang softly. Lucas looked up from the front desk, expecting another visitor or regular student, but instead, a boy walked in. He looked about 11, skinny arms, a long-sleeve shirt pulled down to his knuckles, a backpack far too big for his frame. He stepped quietly, his eyes darting around. Hey there, Lucas said, standing slowly. You looking for someone? The boy didn't speak right away. Then he mumbled, Are you the man from the video? Lucas blinked. Which video? The one where you got beat by John Wick. Lucas couldn't help but laugh. Yeah, that was me. The boy's shoulders sank. He turned like he was about to leave. Wait, Lucas said. Where are you going? My mom said to look for a real teacher, the boy whispered. But if you lost, maybe I should find another place. Lucas walked around the counter, knelt down. What's your name? Ty. Well, Ty, Lucas said gently. The best thing that ever happened to me was losing, because it taught me how to truly teach. Ty looked unsure. Do you want to try a class? Lucas asked. The boy shrugged. I don't know. I'm not good at fighting. Lucas smiled. You don't need to fight. Just show up. Keanu arrived later that evening. He had come to help with beginner drills. When he saw Ty sitting on the bench, shoulders tight, eyes down, he walked over slowly. First class. Keanu asked. Ty nodded. Keanu sat beside him. Want to know a secret? Ty looked at him. I cried before my first class. Ty blinked. Really? Keanu said. I was afraid I'd mess up, that people would laugh. But then someone showed me how to breathe, how to move, how to fall, and I realized Jiu-Jitsu isn't about hurting people. It's about finding your way back up. Double quotes. Ty stared at the mat. There's this kid at school, he whispered. He pushes me down, calls me names, sometimes he follows me home. Keanu's face softened. And how does that make you feel? Like I'm invisible, Ty said. Keanu nodded slowly. Then let's make sure that changes. On the mat, Keanu taught Ty how to fall safely. How to shrimp, how to frame, not punches, not aggression. Just movement. The other students, even the older ones, watched in silence. Lucas observed from the corner, his heart full. But while the class flowed gently, something darker was brewing outside. Across town, an old photo resurfaced online. Someone had posted it anonymously. Lucas, years ago, standing over a bloodied opponent at a tournament, his face full of rage, flipping the middle finger to the camera. The caption read, This is who your kids are learning from? Within hours, it spread. Comments flooded in. Fake humility. Once a bully, always a bully. Can't believe Keanu respects this guy. Lucas found the post that night. He stared at it for a long time. Then closed his laptop. The next morning, he stood in front of his students. He didn't wait for someone to ask. He spoke first. There's a photo of me going around, he said. And it's real. The room fell quiet. I was that man, he continued. Angry, proud, hungry to destroy. I used to win for applause, not growth. He looked around. But I'm not him anymore. And every day I wake up, I try to prove it. Someone in the back asked, Why did you change? Lucas smiled softly. Because someone humbled me with kindness. He looked at Keanu. And someone else reminded me what strength really is. His eyes landed on Ty, who was stretching beside the wall. It's not about crushing people, Lucas said. It's about lifting them. Later that day, Ty stayed after class. He sat on the mat. Quiet. Keanu approached him. You did good today. Ty didn't look up. The kid from school. He found out I'm training. He said he's going to come watch and laugh. Keanu thought for a moment. Then said, Then let him watch, and let him see you get up every time. Ty finally smiled. A week later, Ty invited his mom to watch class. She sat in the corner, hands folded, worried. But by the end of class, her eyes were wet. Not from fear. But from pride. And outside the gym, A boy waited. A bigger kid. Arms crossed. Watching. The bully, he sneered as Ty walked out. Look at you. Still tiny. But Ty didn't flinch. He kept walking, his head higher than it had ever been. Keanu stood nearby, watching from the shadows. The boy never touched Ty. Not that day. Not again. Asterisk. The bully on the math sun was barely setting when the gym door slammed open. Everyone inside turned. Ty had just finished warm-ups. Keanu was showing him how to control space without force. Lucas stood near the front desk, checking attendance. And then the boy walked in. Not just any boy, the one from T's school. The one who called him names. Shoved him into lockers. Followed him home. His name was Colby. 14 years old. Tall for his age, mean eyes, already strong, already proud. He didn't wear a G, just a tank top, gym shorts, and a look that said, I'm not here to learn, I'm here to humiliate. Everyone froze. Keanu stood slowly. Lucas stepped forward. Can I help you? He asked calmly. You the guy who lost to the movie dude? Colby snapped. Lucas said nothing. I came to see what's so special about this place, Colby said. Look soft to me. Ty stayed near the wall. Silent. His eyes wide. Keanu walked over, gently placing himself between Ty and Colby. We're not here to fight, he said softly. Colby smirked. You're Keanu Reeves, right? Yes, you beat Coach Lucas, right? Keanu nodded. Colby stepped onto the mat without being asked. Then beat me. The gym went silent. A few students shifted uncomfortably. Lucas spoke. This isn't how it works. Double quotes. Colby grinned. I thought Jiu-Jitsu was about testing yourself. What's wrong? Scared? Keanu looked at Lucas. Lucas looked back. Then said, I'll roll with you. Colby laughed. You? Nah. I want to fight the real guy. Keanu stepped onto the mat, tied a belt around his waist slowly. No rank. Just white. The way he preferred. He looked at Colby. No punches. Keanu said softly. Just movement. Whatever, Colby said. I'm still gonna smash you. They slapped hands. Bumped fists. And then it began. Colby charged forward, wild, aggressive, raw power. He tried to grab Keanu's neck. Keanu slipped under. Gentle. Silent. Like mist moving around a stone. Colby went for a trip. Keanu stepped aside, controlled his balance. Then he swept Colby to the ground. Not hard. Not violent. Just enough to let him feel it. Colby scrambled. Angry now, he tried to muscle his way back. Keanu took his back. Softly, like a father catching a child mid-fall. No choke. No pain. Just control. And then he whispered, breathe. Colby froze. The same word Lucas had once heard. The same word Ty had learned. Keanu let go. Stood up. Offered a hand. Colby sat there, breathing hard. Sweating. Not humiliated, but shaken. Why didn't you finish me? He asked. Because that wasn't the lesson, Keanu said. Then what was? Control, Keanu said. Real strength is knowing when not to use it. Colby looked around. Everyone was watching, but no one was laughing. Not at him. Not anymore. He looked at Ty. Then back at Keanu. Can I try again? Keanu smiled. Yes. Lucas sat in silence later that evening. He watched the recording of the roll. It had gone viral again. But this time, it wasn't about dominance. It was about restraint. Comments filled the screen. Keanu just gave that kid the greatest lesson of his life. This isn't jiu-jitsu. This is wisdom in motion. Respect to both of them. Lucas closed the laptop, walked back into the gym. Colby was still there. Training. Ty helped him with drills. They weren't friends yet, but they weren't enemies either. Lucas walked over to Keanu. You're building something here, he said. Keanu nodded. We are. That night, Lucas changed the sign outside the gym. He took down the banner with his face, replaced it with 3 words, breathe, learn, rise. The invitation days at the gym became calm again. Students trained with more focus. Ty and Colby now drilled together every week. They weren't best friends, but they shared something unspoken. Growth. Lucas had changed to. He coached differently. Softer voice, more patient eyes. He often repeated what Keanu once said, Jiu-Jitsu isn't about being better. It's about becoming better. But just when it seemed like things had settled, a letter arrived. Lucas found it in the mailbox one morning. The envelope had no return address, just the gym's name and a wax seal with the initials Court. He opened it. His eyes narrowed. Inside was an official invitation to the Coastal Trials, one of the biggest grappling tournaments in the region. But the letter wasn't addressed to him. It was for Keanu Reeves. Lucas read it twice. They wanted Keanu to compete. They said his viral footage had captivated the world. They called him a symbol of true martial spirit, and they made one thing clear: if he showed up, attendance would double. Lucas felt his stomach twist. He walked into the gym slowly. Keanu was there, teaching Tai how to bridge and roll. His movements were simple, light, almost invisible. Lucas stood in the doorway, holding the letter. "We need to talk," he said. In the office, Lucas placed the invitation on the table. Keanu picked it up, scanned the text. His expression didn't change, but Lucas could feel the weight in the room. "They want to use you," Lucas said, "to sell tickets, to build hype." Keanu nodded. Double quotes, "Will you do it?" Lucas asked. Keanu placed the letter down. "What would Renato say?" Keanu asked instead. Lucas thought for a moment. He'd say, "Don't chase shadows, chase truth." Keanu smiled. "Then I won't do it." Lucas looked surprised. "Just like that? I've competed before," Keanu said, "but only when it served my journey, not someone else's profit." Lucas leaned forward. "But what if this isn't about profit?" Keanu raised an eyebrow. "What if," Lucas said slowly, "you go not to prove you're the best, but to remind people what the art really is, what it can be?" Keanu sat back. Silent. Later that night, Keanu sat alone on the rooftop above the gym. The city lights flickered in the distance. He opened the invitation again. Read one line. "We believe your presence could elevate the spirit of the sport." He thought about Tai. About Colby. About Lucas. About Renato. He didn't care about medals, but he cared about meaning. The next morning, he gave Lucas a quiet nod. "I'll do it," he said, "on one condition." Lucas waited. No announcement. Keanu said, "No press, no poster. If I'm in the bracket, I'm just a name." Lucas agreed. The Coastal Trials began 1 week later. Keanu's name was listed simply as KeanuReeves. Most people didn't notice, but one man did. His name was Alex Perez, the current Coastal champion. Young. Fast. Loud. He saw the name on the sheet and laughed. Must be someone trying to sound cool, he said. No one corrected him. Not yet. At the gym, Lucas gathered everyone. "Keanu's competing," he said. Gasps filled the room. "He didn't want attention," Lucas added. "So let's support him quietly. No shouting, no cameras." Tai raised his hand. "Can we go watch?" Lucas smiled. "Yes, on the day of the tournament." The gym emptied. Students arrived in plain clothes. No team shirts. No flags. Just silent support. Keanu wore a basic GI. No logos. No flash. Just him. His first match lasted 3 minutes. Smooth guard pass. Clean control. Gentle tap. His opponent shook hands and bowed deeply after. The next match was faster, and word started spreading. "Did you see Matt 3? That guy, he moves like smoke." "Wait, is that?" Some began to realize. Phones came out. Whispers turned to noise. But Keanu never looked at the crowd. Just the mat. Just the moment. By the time he reached the semifinals, Alex Perez stood waiting, still unaware. Still confident. "Let's make it fast," he said as they touched hands. Keanu nodded. And then the match began. Perez shot fast. Keanu sprawled. Countered. Reversed. Within seconds, he was on top. Perez struggled. Used strength, but Keanu used timing. He flowed around him, transitioned to mount. Held. Waited. Then submitted with a shoulder pressure that required no force. Perez tapped. Fast. The gym erupted. Not in cheers. In silence. The kind of silence that comes when something sacred has just happened. Keanu helped Perez up. Bowed. Walked off the mat. He won the final. Not with speed. Not with power. With patience. At the podium, he stood without a medal. He had declined it. Lucas joined him outside the arena later. "Why didn't you take the medal?" he asked. Keanu looked out at the sea. "Because I already got what I came for." The letter on the shelf. Gym was quiet again. The tournament was over. The mats had been cleaned. The banner with the new motto "Breathe, Learn, Rise" hung above the entrance like a silent promise. Ty and Colby trained in the corner, their laughter now louder than their punches. Lucas sat near the front, staring at the old corkboard on the wall. Pinned between old tournament flyers and belt promotion photos was a photo of Keanu. Not a staged photo, just a snapshot someone had taken during a class. He was sitting cross-legged on the mat, eyes closed, palms on his knees, peaceful. But Keanu was no longer there. He had left that morning. No announcement. No goodbye. Just a folded note taped to the office door. "Thank you for everything. Keep teaching what matters." Lucas read the note 5 times before placing it in a drawer. He didn't chase him. He understood. Some people show up to remind you who you are, and then move on. A few days later, Lucas was organizing the storage room in the back. Dusty trophies, asparagus, old clipboards. He found a box labeled RS. His chest tightened. Renato Silva. He opened the box slowly. Inside were old journals, training schedules, photos, handwritten belt promotion letters. And at the very bottom, an envelope. YELLOWED. Sealed. His name was not on it. But one thing stood out: the initials in the corner. Lucas held it carefully. He opened the flap. Inside was a single letter, written in Renato's distinct handwriting. "Keanu, if you're reading this, it means the time came for you to return to the mat. You always trained in silence. You never asked for belts or praise. You just wanted peace. You didn't need medals to be a warrior. You didn't need followers to be a leader. You were, and still are, the kind of student I dreamed of teaching. And one day, you will teach others without trying, because your presence will remind people of something they forgot. That strength is quiet, and kindness is power." Lucas sat down on the storage room floor. His hands shook. His heart cracked open. He whispered. He knew. He folded the letter again, placed it back inside the envelope. Then walked to the main mat. He called everyone over. Students sat in a circle. Quiet. Waiting. Lucas stood in the center, holding the letter. "I found something," he said, "from Renato to Keanu, but meant for all of us." He read the letter aloud. No one moved. When he finished, he looked at Ty. Then at Colby. Then at every single student who had walked into the gym for more than just techniques. "This isn't my gym," Lucas said. "It's ours, and it's not about how many stripes are on your belt. It's about how many people you help stand back up." The room stayed still. Then slowly everyone stood. One by one, they bowed, not just to Lucas. But to the space. To the memory. To the unseen teacher who had taught them all something far beyond Jiu-Jitsu. Keanu sat in a park 3 towns away. A quiet stream flowed nearby. He held a notebook. On the first page, he wrote, "Some lessons take years to land. Some take seconds. The best ones are the ones you never speak out loud." He closed the notebook. Breathed. And smiled. Epilogue. The gym became more than a training space. It became a shelter. A school. A place where champions were made not through force but through reflection. New students came every week. But the old stories remained. The role that humbled a champion. The poem of control whispered during a match. The man who walked in silently and left everything better than he found it. No one ever saw Keanu return. But his photo stayed on the wall. Not in the center. Not under spotlights. Just quietly in the corner, watching like he always had.